Mr. Vice Chair, how are you? Mr. Vice Chair. Oh, that's right. You get it wrong. It's good to get it wrong. That's
Bob gets here?
Oh, I was looking for Bob too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's running out of the PFE. Yeah, we got it. Yep.
Okay, so we do have a quorum. You can go ahead and gavel us in. Let's get you turned on here.
Morning. Want to call the HRTPO meeting to order. It is 9:33. I'd also like to remind all members to please speak in the microphone as you are and say your name when you make a motion. I'd like to also acknowledge and recognize new board members, HRTPO new board members from Gloucester County Supervisor Shannon Hanson. Where's Shannon? We also have a Pocosin Council member, Angie Emmett. Angie, welcome. And James City County, John McLennan. Where's John? Welcome. Are there any other first-time members to this meeting? All right, seeing none. We do need a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second. We have, okay, thank you very much. Did we get the names?
So that was a motion by Mr. Acree and I believe a second by Mayor Duman.
Thank you. So we have a motion for approval. Please prepare, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next is public comments. Do we have any people who have submitted public comments?
Mr. Chairman, no one has submitted public comments before the meeting. I would like to ask if anyone in the audience would like to address the HRTPO board. Back to you, sir.
Nothing like a council meeting, that's for sure. Mr. Crum, would you please present your report?
Yes, our executive director's report is included in your monthly agenda for your review. Happy to respond to any questions. Just a few items to mention. Of course, 'tis the season, General Assembly time again. Seems like we just finished up last year. But we will be present in Richmond on a regular basis to advocate for the region's regional legislative priorities. Each of you received in the mail our regional legislative agenda. If you need additional copies, we have some out on the table in the lobby. Please pick those up. And if you need more than that, I have additional copies in my office, so please let me know. A couple of things that you can expect. Senator Jackie Glass will be resubmitting her primary and secondary road fund bill that we all followed and supported so closely last year, so you can expect that. Later today, we'll be discussing the joint House resolution submitted by Delegate Benita Anthony. That is intended to complement and supplement Delegate Glass's bill to provide opportunities for continued infrastructure funding and expanded funding here in the Hampton Roads region. So we'll certainly be following that. For our friends at HRT and WADA, we fully expect a lot of conversation about transit funding this General Assembly session, and word is that we may even see discussion of a larger omnibus transportation bill coming forward this session. So a lot of things for us to be monitoring as your staff will be keeping a close eye on everything and keeping you all informed, working with all of our partners from VDOT to HRT and WADA and others as we all work collectively to advocate for our region. Mr. Mayor, I would, Mr. Chairman, just like to mention one more thing. After this meeting, as you all normally do, we'll have lunch for you over in the 757 room. And we got a little surprise for you today. We have a new art piece that one of our local young talented people developed for us that's a nice representation of the entire Hampton Roads region. It's a full wall art piece. Abby, would you mind standing up real quick? I'd like to introduce just an incredibly gifted artist. this is Abby Turner, and she is at JMU now, I believe, right, Abby? She did our previous chalk work in the first wall that she did for us, but please take a look at Abby's work. Just incredible to have such incredible talent. Abby, thank you for just making our office a little nicer as a community gathering place. We really appreciate it. So, and if you don't mind me mentioning, proud dad, our staff person, Joe Turner, is sitting next to her. Joe, I don't want to chop this up, but I think Abby's going to be visiting Epcot, correct? Would you mind talking about that real quick, Joe?
I'm attending.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Congratulations, Abby, and thank you again. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Crum. Next item is the election of officers. I'd like to call on Virginia Beach Mayor Bobby Dyer to present the nominating committee report.
Okay, thank you. It's an honor to be here, and Happy New Year to everybody. At the November 2025 board meeting, the chair appointed members of the HRTPO nominating committee was tasked to bring forward a recommendation of slate of officers to the board for consideration to serve for the incoming year. The board must select a new chair. As the previous chair, Mr. Hipple, decided not to seek re-election. Traditionally, the vice chair has been nominated and appointed to serve the new chair. However, the chair must come from a peninsula locality for this term. As such, the nominating committee presents the following recommendations for officers for calendar year 2026. For chair, Mayor Jimmy Gray of Hampton. Vice chair, Mayor Rick West Chesapeake. Treasurer, Andrew Trevette Williamsburg. And Secretary Robert Crum, HRTPTO Executive Director, so submitted.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Seeing none, could we have a motion, please, Mr. Dyer?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Dyer, and thank you,
Second, Mayor Glover.
Mayor Glover. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries, and I gladly turn over the gavel to you.
Thank you, Mayor West, and Chairman Hipple leaves some big shoes to fill, but I will make every effort to at least attempt to fill his shoes. I won't be wearing the black suits to the meeting every day, but nevertheless, we have a lot of great work to do in transportation planning for our region, so I look forward to serving as a chair and working with all of you. I do have a little trouble seeing the names on the other side of the table and reading those, so that's going to force me to meet all of you and learn your name and by recognizing your face when you raise your hand. But in the interim, my city manager has agreed to be the liaison for me when it comes to seeing who raised their hand and said their name. So if it takes me a while to answer you, that's the reason why. So with that, we'll move forward with the agenda. I'm going to go back to one item on the agenda, and that is an employee recognition, and ask Mr. Crum to present that recognition.
Yes, we like to recognize our employees on an annual basis who are achieving a significant milestone with the HRTPO and HRPDC. So we have two today that I'm excited to recognize. Kathleen, would you mind standing up, please? So this is Kathleen Grauberger. She has been with the HRTPO 20 years, Kathleen. Does it seem like it? Some days? Time flies, right? Kathleen is a transportation planner too with our organization. But what you need to know about Kathleen is she manages your TPO, Transportation Improvement Program, something called the TIP. All right. So every month when you look at your agenda, on your consent agenda, you see this long range of TIP amendments. It's Kathleen that manages all of that work. And what I want to stress is it's a substantial amount of work. The TIP is the financial backbone of our entire transportation program here. If those projects don't get on the tip, if those projects don't have the right type of money on them, don't have the right amount of money on them, at the right schedule, at the right time, the projects just don't move forward. Kathleen works incredibly hard to manage your tip and keep everything moving. If you've had a transportation project advance to construction in your local government, Kathleen has touched it. Her attention to detail is unmatched, which is so important when you're dealing with the public's dollars. Her work ethic is incredible. She works incredibly hard at managing your projects and keeping them moving. And what we need for someone to take the lead in managing our TIP is a detailed worker and a hard worker, and that's Kathleen. Kathleen, on behalf of the region, I just want to thank you for everything you do on a day-to-day basis. Could you join me in congratulating Kathleen on 20 years? Thanks, Kathleen. Pavitra Parthasarathi. Oh, she's behind me, boy. So Pavitra Parthasarathi, Dr. Parthasarathi came to us 5 years ago, and Pavitra is in charge of managing and leading your entire regional transportation program under the HRTPO. She's one of our deputy executive directors, and when I say she manages the program, keep in mind she is responsible for all aspects of your regional transportation program. Long-range transportation plan, project prioritization, project financial management, special studies, freight, bike walk, public transit, rail planning, etc. This all falls under Pavitra's areas of responsibility. I just can't tell you what a high-level professional Pavitra is. What she does in an incredible way is bring incredible technical knowledge and incredible technical expertise to this planning process. But she has a knack, unlike anybody I've ever seen, of being able to take such high-level technical knowledge and convert it to public policy planning, to give you the information you need to make important decisions, and understand how to integrate that is really a special and unique talent. And she does all that while managing her staff team and also being visible in the community. Pavitra is out in the community all the time telling the story about the great work of this HRTPO board. So, they say the key to smart management is you hire people smarter than you. And I tell you, I learned something from Pavitra every day, and I can't thank her enough for what she does. So Pavitra, thank you. Will you please? Sir, if it's okay, I apologize. I got confused which way I was looking. If it's okay, I'm going to recommend that the HRTPO board consider approval of the consent agenda today as provided in your agenda.
Okay, is there a motion to second?
So moved. Rick West, second.
I didn't get who made it.
Initial motion, I'm sorry.
William Harrell.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
all right. So we have a motion by Mr. Harrell, seconded by Mayor West. Is there any further discussion on the consent agenda? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. The motion carries. Consent agenda is approved. All right, the next item on the agenda is approval of the 2050 long-range transportation planning project prioritization scores. And I'm going to ask Mr.
Yes,
Hunt
so
to introduce that.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Dell Stith, our principal transportation planner, is going to present and brief you on this item today. This is a critically important milestone for the update of our long-range transportation plan. So Dell, why don't you walk us through it?
Sure. Thank you and good morning. So Transportation for All is the vision that guides our 2050 long-range transportation plan. And it is our commitment to making sure that we make thoughtful and responsible transportation investments for our region today and into the future. And so today I'm presenting the project prioritization scores and seeking approval. And that is a key component on how we turn this vision into realistic, fiscally responsible projects in the long-range transportation plan. So first, $85 billion. When we collected transportation needs working with you all and the public, that is the total of these identified needs. And I mean, that's a big number. That's a lot of money. And even though it would be fantastic to have 85 billion, we will not between now and 2050. The good news is we have identified about 20 billion in available revenues for additional capacity throughout the region, again, into the horizon year 2050. This funding gap is not a new issue. When we look back at our past long-range transportation plans, you can see on this slide for the 2034, the 2040, and the 2045, we also had a significant funding gap. And what this means is that we need to make sure that, we have to make those tough, thoughtful decisions on what projects actually end up in the plan. And this is why prioritization matters. It provides that transparent framework for this body to make those tough decisions based on shared regional goals and regional values. So fortunately, we do have a very robust and comprehensive prioritization process that we've been using for 15 years. So for all those long-range transportation plans that I showed you, we've been applying our prioritization tool. And what this is just a comprehensive framework that allows us to evaluate candidate projects the same across all jurisdictions based on these shared regional goals. Our tool is segmented into three main components. We look at project utility, which is the ability to solve a transportation problem. We look at the potential for economic gain. And then we also look at project viability, which is looking at project readiness and compatibility. So our tool is very data-driven. We have lots and lots of data measures based off regional priorities. To give an example, some of the metrics that we look at safety, congestion, travel time reliability. We're looking at resiliency, criticality, multimodal connections, access to major regional infrastructure like our port and military facilities. And what this does is, again, while we're evaluating candidate projects, we have confidence that those projects that have the highest score aren't just providing benefit in local jurisdictions, but they're addressing issues across our regional transportation system. In addition to our comprehensive prioritization tool, we also look at scenario planning, multiple ways the region can grow. So when we're evaluating candidate projects, we're not just comparing them to one single predicted future, we're looking at various growth patterns. And so when you combine our comprehensive prioritization process with these multiple growth scenarios, again, that gives us more confidence that those projects that rise to the top are the ones that really can provide the most regional value for years to come. So in terms of scoring our projects, we do score them in different categories. So you can see here what we score: highway, interchange, bridge tunnel, intermodal, transit, and active transportation. The scores within these categories are meant to show the top scoring projects within the category, not to compare them across categories. Before I dive into the scores, I do want to note that some projects are considered committed. These would be projects that are under construction or soon will start construction, and they're fully funded in either VDOT or HRTPO 6-year funding program. The Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel is a great example. So these projects are automatically included in our long-range transportation plan, so you will not see a prioritization score assigned to these committed projects. So in terms of the scoring themselves, you all have a handout in front of you that has the complete list. These scores are ranked by total score within their project category, and then further organized by roadway system or by transit system. They're color coded, so if you see a darker shade of a score, that means that project scored within the top 5 of that prioritization component, whether it be project utility, economic viability, or the total score overall. So the next few slides, I'm going to just call out some of the higher scoring projects for the sake of time, but again, you have the full packet in front of you. So in terms of highway projects, we evaluated 180 candidate projects. So for interstate, the highest scoring project overall is 664 Peninsula widening with a total score of 191. This was followed by the 664 South Side widening with a score of 185. And then we have the Virginia 168 bypass widening with 177, and then 264 widening from Witch Duck Road to Independence with a score of 176. In terms of our primary road system, the highest scoring project overall is the US 17 Carrollton Boulevard widening from the James River Bridge to the Hazelwood Bridge in Isle of Wight County with a score of 193, followed by VA 164 widening from the West Norfolk Bridge to I-664 with a score of 167. In terms of secondary, the highest scoring project overall is the Commonwealth Drive extension with a score of 130, followed by Long Hill Road widening, the Phase 2 version of that project with a score of 106. And then in our urban highway system, the highest scoring projects are phases 1 and 2 of Indian River Road in Virginia Beach with scores of 159 and 154 respectively. And then the Elm Avenue realignment and widening in Portsmouth with a score of 153. Moving along to interchange projects, we scored 27 candidates. The highest scoring interchange candidate is 264 Independence with a score of 214. Followed by 64, 264, one of the phases, phase 3F specifically, with a score of 203. Then 64, 464, one of those interchange movements, with a score of 198, followed by Bowers Hill with a score of 192. For primary, the highest scoring primary interchange is the Route 58, 460, related to the Port 460 project with a score of 141. So bridge and tunnel, the highest ranking candidate project is the James River Bridge widening with a score of 149, followed by 2 bridges on the US 17 corridor, the Hazelwood and Godwin bridges with scores of 141 and 135 respectively. In terms of intermodal freight projects, we had 17 candidates. Highest scoring project overall, Hampton Boulevard and Terminal Boulevard Railroad grade separation with a score of 193, followed by George Washington Highway Railroad grade separation with a score of 165, and then Freeman Avenue in Chesapeake with a score of 155. For our transit, just highlighting the fixed guideway candidate projects, we had 21 transit candidate projects overall. The highest scoring is the Peninsula Bus Rapid Transit in, between Hampton and Newport News with a score of 209, followed by 2 phases of the Naval Station Norfolk Transit extensions, scores of 200 and 197 respectively, and then the High Capacity Transit extension to Greenbrier with a score of 193. And then our last category, active transportation, we evaluated 48 candidates. The highest scoring active transportation project overall is the Southampton Roads Trail with a score of 242, and that goes from downtown Suffolk to the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Part of the Southampton Roads Trail is the Virginia Beach Trail, and that scored 234, and then the Trail 757 scored 222. So in terms of the draft prioritization scores, we did conduct a 3-month review of the draft scores. We went to the HRTPO advisory committees, technical subcommittees, and working groups. We created an interactive review portal to assist with the review. We also provided detailed documentation about how each metric was calculated and what those data assumptions were that developed the scores. Once the technical stakeholder review was done, we also had a public review in December. We did not receive any public comments. The technical comments that we received were incorporated and addressed accordingly. So in terms of looking ahead for the remainder of the 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan, once these scores are approved, we will be working with your technical staff later this month to develop the draft fiscally constrained list of projects for the 2050 LRTP. We will be circulating that draft list to our various committees, to you all and to the public for the month of February, coming back to this board in March for approval of that draft list. Then we'll do some technical work with the regional conformity assessment and documentation, finally coming back to this board to adopt the 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan in May. This timing is critical because our current 2045 Long Range Transportation Plan expires in June, and it's important that the region always have a current Long Range Transportation Plan. So that brings me to the recommended action, which is to approve the 2050 Long Range Transportation Plan project prioritization scores so that we can move forward and develop that fiscally constrained list and realize our vision of providing transportation for all. So I'd be happy to